excited at the organizers for getting this group together. I know it was competitive, and at IBM now we've set up a big design center. We've got over 1,000 designers. We recruit actively. I hope some of you are future IBMers. And it is such an exciting space. So what I'm going to talk to you about a little bit is how we are using design in marketing at IBM. Let me start with, how many of you took an Uber to come here today? A lot of you, right? So you hear this a lot, digital, right? Digital disruption, digital transformation, digital reinvention. But my question is, so what? What about it? Digital is not the destination. You know, it's like maybe when you discovered language. Language wasn't the destination, but what it does is, it is able to reveal things, and it opens up possibilities that you never dreamt about. And what digital does is it opens up possibilities, and actually at IBM, we are saying that it's heralding a new era, and we call this era the cognitive era. So what is cognitive? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it machine learning? Actually, it's all of the above. Cognitive is the age of data. Now, you may know that there's two types of data. There is structured data, which is your Excel files and PowerPoint, Word documents, stuff that computers recognize, they store, they can use, they can give you insights from it. But 90% of the world's data is what we call unstructured. It's your texts, your posts, your tweets, your photos, your Instagram, your voice on IP calls. Can you imagine the amount of insight that's in data? That data, X-rays. 90% of the world's information is in unstructured data. And when you start using unstructured data, you unveil a set of possibilities that is amazing. And that's why we're calling it a cognitive era. And the reason I'm talking about it is it's very relevant to marketing. So, you know, at IBM, our face of cognitive is Watson. How many of you have heard of Watson? Oh, that makes you feel good. And Watson's cloud-based platform, it's a set of capabilities. It can understand accents, it can understand personalities, it can see X-rays, it can hear music. We just recently, actually we are sponsoring the Tribeca Film Festival later this month, and we've done a lot of music with Alex the Kid. He's going to be with us throughout the festival. We've done design with Marquesa. I don't know if you've seen the Marquesa gown, which is basically a gown. We launched it last year, the Met Gala, and it has CHIPS IoT on the gown, and based on tweets and based on customer interest, the gown changes color. So the moment you have a lot of tweets going on about it, becomes red. When everyone's a little sort of ignoring it, becomes yellow. So it's reflective of technology. So Watson's our platform. But why is this relevant to design? Because the first thing is, you know, marketing has always been the group in the business that's supposed to understand the client. And when you start opening up this unstructured data, when you become cognitive in marketing, look what happens. I mean, in the past when we designed products, we would do very simple things, right? What's the age of the person, male, 18 to 30, lives in zip code 10022, earns about this much. That was the way we marketed products. Now with cognitive, by using unstructured data, you start understanding what pages do they like, what pages do they follow, what hashtags do they tend to, what journals do they tend to browse around. And it completely changes your ability to understand the person. And that's what marketing is about. It's about human. So when you take this unstructured data, when you become cognitive, you get a much better sense of the human. And therefore, as marketing, you become a much better sense of the client. And that's from my function, but think about it. If you're a doctor, you understand your patient. You understand what food they like, what they like to read. Imagine if you're a teacher, you understand your student individually. And there's a lot we are doing with Sesame Street. We're doing individualized teaching because every child responds differently to education. Now separately, marketing has also always been the creative part of a business, right? So most of you have paper and pen. I'm going to ask you to indulge me for an exercise. It's 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Draw a vase. parents too. And whenever you've done it, just hold it up so I can see it. Can I see any? It's great. It's great. There's great too. That's great. Different. Great. All right, now we're going to do another exercise. Just indulge me, another 30 or 45 seconds. Here's the question. Design a way for people to enjoy flowers in your home. All right, I won't take it further, but that's the fundamental of design. What happens when you start thinking like this? You ask a lot more questions. Well, what's my home like? Is it morning or is it night? Who are these people? What does enjoyment mean to them? Should it be wild or should it be structured? Should it be beautiful or should it be different? And what you start doing is you start thinking about the experience, not the product. Design the ways is a product. Design a way for people to enjoy the experience, it's an experience. You start anticipating needs versus doing a task. Agree? You start building a relationship. Who are these people? Which home are they in? Versus just sort of doing a transaction saying design a ways. And that's the fundamental of design. It starts with purpose. So when you all become designers, design is in every field, right? Engineering, marketing, sales. And you start with the idea of purpose. What's the purpose of what I'm doing? How many of you have heard of Charles and Ray Eames? Very eminent designers, great partners for IBM. We're very, very proud of the partnership with them. For those of you who are not familiar, they designed the Eames chair. And they brought up this theory, which is called the guest-to-host theory of design. So all designers start from a point of empathy. The words that are important in design, I think, purpose and empathy. And they came up with this idea of guest host. So imagine you're hosting something, What do you think about? You start anticipating their experience, I told them to take the train, but this train isn't running. Maybe I should tell them that it's better to take a cab. Oh, by the way, maybe it's better for them to take this road versus the other because I know it's normally crowded at this time. What are their dietary preferences? Do they not eat anything? Are they allergic, should I ask? What music do they like? How can I make this a wonderful evening? So you see how your thinking is changing. Versus just hosting the dinner, you're actually now starting to think of the experience of your guest. So Charles and Ray Eames brought up this idea of guest-host relationship, and they said, design isn't about what you see and say, it's about what you think and feel. And empathy is the core of that. So in IBM marketing, we use this fundamental to all our design, all our campaign planning. We use something that we call the empathy map. And this is the other way that marketing has changed. In the earlier days, you would start marketing with thinking about the product. What am I selling? What's a product? What's a technology? What's a service? And you said, oh, okay, so now I know what I'm selling, who am I selling to, and how do I take that home? Changes in design work. In design thinking, you start with the user. You start with the user, again, could be client, could be a student, could be a patient. And you start by using cognitive data to understand who is this person, what do they like, are they groups? Recently we did a great campaign actually in the Austin area. Get the cognitive data to understand this group of customers really tend to love Audis. They tend to read this magazine. And you become so targeted in how you address that client's experience. We start with the empathy map, and then you start with understanding the person. What is their pain? What is it that irritates them about their ability to do business? What is the gain they hope to, what is the gain that they hope to achieve? Outcome they hope to achieve. You start thinking about not just, as I said, what they hear and see. So when you land at a landing page on a campaign web page, not just about what you will think and not about what you will see and do. So yeah, this font, we used to spend hours, what font size, what's the journey, what will they do. But with design thinking, we start turning around and saying, well, what will they think? Will they think that a 30-second video is too long or too short? What happens if I put myself in their shoes? Am I getting irritated after 10 seconds? So the whole concept of how we do marketing has changed ever since we've got in design thinking. And the core of this is, so there's purpose, there's empathy, and this is what we live. It's called the design loop. I know there's a session later, you hear a lot about this. This is sort of the IBM design loop. And 3 parts to it, very simple. The first one, observe. Again, become the guest, become the person who is experiencing, live, immerse yourself in that real life. Then come and reflect. Say, okay, what did I feel? What did I think? How did I feel? If I was a client, how would I feel? And then open up possibilities. It's not a structured journey. To open up possibility, what if they would want to experience flowers this way? What if I had flowers scattered all over the carpet? Would that be a more enjoyable way of enjoying flowers? And then take those possibilities, those abstract ideas, and give them a concrete shape. And it's a loop, because it doesn't stop. Once you've done that, go back again and say, observe it again, reflect again, and make again. And then I wanted to just share a couple of tools that we are using at IBM. The first one is Diamond to Match. We're very excited about it. We implemented it 2 years back. Big believer. The idea is, so traditionally at IBM we had it was a hierarchy, right? There was leaders and managers, and it worked like that. We changed it 2 years back in marketing, and we work in something called Diamond Teams. So the way to understand, how many of you have seen Ocean's 11? Also a lot, right? So it's that idea, which is a group of people come together because they're experts in their field. They come together because they want to achieve a purpose. In that case, steal some money, whatever. That purpose drove them. They came together as experts, no senior, no junior, no listener and will talk to. But everyone's an expert. So today at IBM in marketing, all of us work in groups of diamonds. A diamond could comprise of a campaign person, digital person, web designer, database analytics, market development insights, event person, portfolio person. But we've completely changed the way we do our marketing to become a lot more agile based on skills and point of view and attitude versus, well, this is the person who will tell you what to do and then everybody goes and does it. And really building on this idea that don't worry about, the whole point is this diamond comes together, works on the purpose, and then it disintegrates and works on something else. The other thing that we've started doing, as I said, in the past we would start with a product. We would start with what we're selling. We now start with the buyer, and we also don't start immediately with the buyer and say, well, what do we want to sell to this buyer? We start thinking about what will make this buyer successful. If I run marketing for IBM, what is going to make me successful? And what is my path to that journey? So journey mapping is another big part of design thinking, right? What is that path to my proficiency? And in that path, once I've understood the buyer with cognitive data, when I'm able to visualize their path to proficiency, then what is the best way for me to attract them? What are the offerings that I should take them? How should I position them? That's marketing, right? You're supposed to know your clients, supposed to be relevant. So we've started using this, and everything we do is around the agile methodologies. And lots of stuff on our web if you want. Be very happy to share more content. I try to keep this very net. But focus on outcome always. Designing the ways isn't the point. The outcome is enjoying the flowers, right? Restless reinvention, the loop. Keep going back, observing, reflecting, making, observing, reflecting, making. And then how do you come together as teams that are diverse, different kinds of skills, and empowered? So, today marketing is a mix of data and art. Half my team is highly creative and get terribly bored with data, and half my team lives on data. So how do you get them to work together? Using data, but to create the possibilities, think of the possibilities and test them out. I wanted to share this with you because, good design is not new news. It's sort of common sense. This is Thomas J. Watson, 1966. This is a letter he wrote to all IBM employees, and I love it actually because now design is so hot. But good business people have always figured that design is very important. And just look at what he's saying. Good design is good business. Imaginative use of design helps to sell our products. Apple That's what they've done, right? Pleasant, efficient work areas contributes to better morale and productivity. You feel beautiful working here. Look at the view, feel good, you're thinking, you're energized. Dramatic design in printed matter increases its message impact. 1966, no design, majors, minors, just common sense that when there's something that you've taken time out, starting from empathy, thought about the purpose, it creates better outcomes. And finally, I wanted to end with my favorite quote, and very closely following what Peter was talking about. I love this because it sort of brings everything together. And this is Arthur C. Clarke when he come to IBM. And he says the greatest single industry of the future will be education. The second greatest will be entertainment. And when you start getting education and entertainment together, that's powerful. And so, just recapping what we talked about, cognitive, the ability to understand human beings. As a marketing leader, I think about understanding clients, but it's true, as I said, for students, patients, if you're an artist, who do you want to sell to, really using that insight, not just the structured insight that's sort of demographic, age, location, etc., but really understanding the person. Is that person adventurous? Is that person hedonistic? Is that person traditional? What is the user that we're trying to understand? And then thinking about the experience. How do I empathize with them? What's the empathy map to understand their journey to proficiency? How do I use design to create that experience that's exceptional? And then at all times, how am I agile? How do I use agile methodologies to make this happen? So that's what I had to share about what we're doing in marketing using design thinking. Very happy to take any questions if we have time. But if not, I know you have lots of things, lots of good stuff that you'll be covering today, the design experts.